This is the story of how I created this unique wedding Filipiniana dress for a bride in the US. From the fabric selection to the creation process and finally to the end result. About a year ago, our lovely bride reached out to me and said she wanted to incorporate her culture for her special day. And aside from that, she wants something very romantic, fairy tale like, because she and her fiance, by the time this video is out, her husband really loves fantasy. As you can see by the fabric alone and the introduction of this video, it is not a white wedding dress. It's gonna be a very fun and a different kind of Filipiniana wedding dress. She specifically asked me to add pinks and greens to her wedding dress. They are going to have a garden wedding, and aside from that, she wanted to have a look that can go from a ceremony to her reception. So this is going to be a convertible design, which I will show you later on, the cute mini version of her ceremony look. This is going to be for the reception skirt, so we're going to put it aside and we're going to start with the ceremony skirts first, which are the longer ones, and whatever the offcuts are, we're going to be cutting the corset patterns from that. So we have minimal waist and we really make the most out of our fabric. So let's go. Whoop. By this time in the creation process, I have already done the necessary preparation with our lovely bride Katrina, with the measurements, taking them on a video consultation together, and also sending a mock-up or a toile which looks like this, so I know if there are any fit issues that will arise and I could take care of that before even creating her dream dress. We are going to start off by making the lining of the skirt, which is this nude satin fabric, which is really going to be the base of the ceremony skirt and also for the reception, but a smaller version. Cute. And what we've done there is just serge the edges so that it doesn't fray instead of having this. And then I wanted to make sure that the edges or the hem of the lining skirt sits nicely and looks rounded, so I'm just chopping away what doesn't make sense. And now it is time to start cutting the tulle or the see-through pieces. There is so much layers that went into this ceremony skirt alone. It is going to be a combination of this ivory, tulle, and that nude blush colored tone that you saw earlier. A challenge that I really faced with this project is finding the perfect tone of blush tulle, and it had to be in a certain length, which is a 300 centimeter wide, for me to be able to make the big pieces that I need to create. I like cutting everything at one go, so what I did was cut all of the pieces that I need, but I needed to label them as I go. So this is what the green sticky notes are for, and now we're going to do the same thing but for that blush skin tone. I believe in total there were 6 layers, 3 of each color. So the first 3 layers are full circle skirts, so just one big full circle, and the last 3 layers are double circle skirts, which makes it all the more fuller and more volumized, and it's just really gonna give that voluminousness that you saw in the beginning and you're gonna see in the end. What you saw me sewing or stitching with the machine earlier are actually called straight or running stitches all across the waist of these tulle skirt pieces, because I'm gonna be gathering them while pinning it on the mannequin so we get the actual voluminousness at the right distribution that we want. Beautiful how two-dimensional the colors are. Gosh, how pretty. I'm gonna add one more layer of
a fabric that I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that other beige fabric to put on top. So I'm waiting for it for about a week and then we're gonna put it on top.
Now onto the corset. Similarly with the skirt, where we want to follow the fabric sequence that we use so that it's cohesive.
I'm working on the corset of Katrina's fairy tale Filipiniana dream dress. This is such a fun project. Right now is we're making the part that has the lace. This is what it looks like. It's so dreamy and so pretty. Underneath is going to be this nude lining that is interfaced to make it stronger and sturdier. And these are the cuffs. They're so pretty. And with the lace, I've decided to make them separate. This is the lace on top and then this is the lining underneath. And then there's another lining underneath that's not interfaced. So it has a lot of components and layers to this dress. 3 of that corset pieces sewn separately, just to make sure that our corset is seamless and high-end and high quality. And with this layer here, there's actually 5 layers to it. Similarly with the fabrics, our skirt, we used 2 tone fabrics, one that is ivory, 2 of that flesh. Finally, we're gonna have lace pattern. So we join all of that together and then we sew the corset. I'm also going to be creating a veil for this design, a matching nude veil. So it's open. Now let's take it to the machine.
Now it is time to sew the boning.
We're gonna add a little bit more applique on this area. I am actually double boning the corset because we're working with a plus size beautiful bride and we just want to make sure that she has all the support she needs and the boning doesn't really crumble. I have sewn the boning, which is called a whale boning, directly on the corset, but there is a space in the middle here that is just enough for us to add this kind of boning, which is a plastic boning, very thick, durability and structure. See, it just sprung back. And we're gonna add the eyelets very soon as well. Let's do that. Bent, and we want them to be a bit straight so that it contours to the body. And make sure that it doesn't poke our bride.
We burn the edges so that it melts, and instead of that sharp, angular end, it's becoming a bit more rounded. Now it's time to add the eyelets.
We're gonna put the last one here. So we're gonna use these eyelets. So there's 2 components to it. Put this at the front. I've made these holes by poking through this and then making it bigger by snipping away with some tailors.
And this is what we had the next day. Now we're gonna move on to the reception skirt. And then later on, the Filipiniana sleeves. The reception skirt was actually so cute because it's so much tinier than the ceremony. And it's just like a tutu bell, like a ballerina. And then the reception skirt is literally the same steps, the same fabric as the ceremony, but this time around just like a smaller, cuter version. I had to order extra tulle fabric that's on the blusher skin tone because I didn't have enough after all of those layers. I have a sewing foot that's intentionally used for gathering like this one, and I use that to save me time. And since the fabric came folded, I just put it on a roll so that it's easier to cut. Honestly, now that I'm editing this video, I love seeing the time lapse of the creation process because when I'm in the zone of creating, I forget just how much progress I create. I guess sometimes we could take for granted the skills and talents that we have. I remember being so happy seeing that cute mini version at the back while I'm doing the ceremony skirt. And now it's time to put all those pieces together because from this moment, all of it was just pinned to the mannequin, and now we're gonna be sewing them forever together. And now moving on to the Filipiniana sleeve. So there was a little bit of a bald spot in that pattern of the lace, so I cut out another floral pattern and just placed it. And this is what we have. They look so pretty and they're so cutie. This is the time where it's really coming all together because the corset is done, the ceremony skirt is done, the reception skirt is done, and the Filipiniana sleeves are almost done, and it's really all about the finishing. Here I am adding extra lace on those bald spots.
Currently cutting all of the edges of the lace. So cutting those excess lace so that it's as seamless as this. So the reception skirt is finished, and it's just that ceremony skirt that I'm working on. For that, we're gonna add the butterflies, which I'm quite excited for. We're gonna hand sew the butterflies and then add the zippers, sew the sleeves to the corset, and then we're gonna take photos. So we're gonna have a reveal, dream dress reveal with our bride Katrina tomorrow. So it's a consultation. We're excited for this, and yeah.
I'm in that stage in the creation process where I'm almost done, but I'm not yet completely done. But it's like seeing the finishing line in the race, but you're not quite there yet. My favorite part of the process really is seeing everything come together.
It's time to add the butterflies. They're so pretty and they're like organza, so they're a little bit see-through. Flutter with the wind. And we're only gonna sew. I've had these butterflies for a year now, and this is the first time that I'm using them, so I'm quite excited about it.
And now I'm doing a technique that allows all of those 7 layers, including the lining, to all be together. And now it's time to show you guys how it all turned out. Thank you so much for watching this video and joining me in this journey of creating a dream dress for our lovely bride, Katrina. Congratulations to you, and I hope you had the time of your life. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye!